What kind of person believes in, well, just about every conspiracy that's going? What kind of person now believes that history itself is a conspiracy? What sort of person is that? That person is HANS WORMHAT. G'day, hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Like I always say, it is very, very much appreciated. Yes, today we are looking down the rabbit hole that is HANS WORMHAT. This guy believes in every single conspiracy that's going. For example, send this video to people who believe in sloths, emperor penguins are not a real animal, and space is flat, get over it. So yes, there is not a conspiracy that HANS does not believe in. But today, he's talking about the Statue of Liberty and the fact that it's always been in America. Let's hear what he's got to say.
In this video, I'm going to look at some historical stuff, his story.
Only 5 seconds in, and I can smell the personal incredulity from here. And trust me, it's a long way from here to America. His story, which has 2 S's, is only a phrase that's been made up by conspiracy theorists.
That not even people on Reddit believe this stuff, and they'll believe almost anything. So they'll believe almost anything or go along with it, knowing that it's a joke. Reddit is an orange 33 place.
Just a bunch of word salad, and from here he talks about religion. Not on my watch.
Anyways, let's get into the photos. This stuff is unbelievable, even by Reddit standards. Right around some mysterious time in the 1800s. I think that the last reset could have been, not that long ago. And that the late 1800s was the mad scramble to grab up the stuff again and fake history. I think that, who knows? Does anybody have a good idea of when the last reset actually happened?
Ooh, I do. It was approximately never.
But I think that the Victorian era is my best idea for when they were getting the ball rolling again. But this is allegedly. So what's the story that they tell us? That France built this thing and then shipped it off to America? I think it probably has always been here. I think the Statue of Liberty was always there since this reset.
Said no one ever, Hans. Just a quick history lesson about the Statue of Liberty, or Liberty Enlightening the World, or La Liberté éclairant le monde, was born in 1865 by French historian Edmond de Laboulage. This was to commemorate the centennial of the American independence of 1776. He wanted France to finance and build the statue, whilst the Americans would provide a location, finance and build the pedestal for the statue to sit on. The statue itself was built by Caget Gaultier and Company in Paris and was located in a factory approximately 1.5 kilometers from the Arc de Triomphe.
But haven't people pointed out that the pedestal that the Statue of Liberty is on looks like a star fort? So it could already be a situation where you have multiple layers of history happening, but I don't think that they built this statue in France and then shipped it to America. I think that these photos are examples of early photo manipulation.
Once completed, the statue was disassembled, placed into crates and shipped to the United States. Unfortunately, the plinth wasn't ready on its arrival, so the crates were stored in Madison Square Gardens in New York City. The plinth was finally ready in 1886, where the statue was reassembled and open for observation. HANS goes on to talk about photo manipulation here, and I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Certainly not on this video.
That's why most of these photos that give odd vibes, it's like clear cut and paste jobs with white skies. I'm going to say this just because somebody pointed it out. Somebody said that the whole vanilla sky thing is referencing how in these old photos the skies are always whitewashed out.
The sky in this photo is white, HANS, because And this may be a little bit controversial. It's because it's a black and white photo. The clue is in the phrase there, Hans. Black and white.
Was there a big ash thing, or was it all photo manipulation? I think sometimes they were whiting out the sky because they didn't want you to see the air blimps that were everywhere.
Whilst blimps, or airships as they are better known, were invented in 1852, they were not a common form of transport, and not many had been built during the late 1800s. So to say that they were everywhere, it's just a lie.
I agree with that.
Thanks, mate.
But sometimes it could just be a totally artificial background, like white sheet behind a photo, a weird drawing. People were mentioning how the scaffolding here just looks like a drawing, and that's very, very common. I mean, yeah, that statue doesn't even look like a legit photograph. The focus will always be weird, not in ways that cameras normally focus.
This photo was taken around 1884. Photography itself had only been invented some 60 years earlier. So it would be fair to say that not all pictures from this time would be in focus. That's mainly due to resolution. The P1000 was invented in 2018. And even with that camera, there are some people that can't get it in focus either. I'm talking about UCC.
And who's this guy? Why is there only one guy down here? What is going on? The feet at an angle, like a mason. These almost look like old mason marks. Is that a G? What is going on here? Very dodgy.
Oh, here we go with the Masonic thing again. This is virtually every single video. And why are you having a dig at the way that this bloke is standing? What, is this against your rules too?
What? AI is making me skeptical of every photo. I mean, you should have been skeptical beforehand. This is nothing new. Photo manipulation is not new. Why would France assemble just to disassemble? Are they stupid?
To answer that comment, the statue was erected in Paris and presented to Levy P. Morton, who was the US ambassador in Paris at the time, on July 4, 1884. It was then disassembled and shipped to America, as I mentioned before. So no, the French are not stupid. But if the shoe fits...
Oh wow, is this real? That picture looks very fake. Looks like a drawing. I'd like to point out the scaffolding. I mean, I'm not looking up how wide the statue is, but the lack of bracing seems very apparent. That's a pretty long span. That's a good point where I want to go look at that. Where it's like they just drew it on because the scale of the scaffolding is way off. Yeah. Imagine how long those bars are. Knowing the size of the statue, somebody could do some math on this scaffolding and how flimsy all of this stuff would be. It would be much more tightly packed, a much more dense scaffolding. I agree completely. Probably drawn on.
Probably drawn on. More personal incredulity.
I just have some more photos. I looked it up because I was like, man, that's a dodgy looking photo. But there's like dozens of these bizarro, like doesn't this almost look like a zoomed in picture of a statue, like a marble or whatever, concrete. That it looks like a zoomed in picture of a statue.
Well, it is a picture of a statue, the Statue of Liberty, and it's taken close up. So you're right, I think.
So, like in real life, I don't think that statue's that big. And then they put over the foreground of it this scaffolding workshop picture. Is that a guy in the ear? Is he supposed to be near the ear, touching the ear? So I think he got some layers going on here. What is he doing with his hands?
I don't know. Working?
It's a cool chimney thing. Doesn't this look strange? This was a weird website that I found these on. How does the shadow on that doesn't look right at all?
I'm not sure what shadow he's talking about here. I'm guessing it's the one under the chin. But the head is looking slightly down. So yes, there would be a shadow. Incidentally, this is the actual head of the Statue of Liberty. It was on display at the Paris World Fair in 1878.
But I'm not a lighting expert.
You're not an expert in anything, Hans.
This just, to me, really, does the shoulder just disappear into nothingness? What is going on here? Like what? It just vaporizes.
Yes, because it's not the whole statue. It's just the head.
How is that supposed to function? So it like slowly vaporizes on the shoulder. And those shadows are so dark compared to anything else, really. But I guess over here on the bench it's kind of dark. I'm really not a lighting expert, but I can tell when stuff looks dodgy. Who are these bozos? Where are all the people? You think that this would draw a crowd if you had something like this standing out? You got two people. Two people and one weirdo. Got a bunch of people standing around in tents with the hats. They all had hats. You got to wear a hat.
Yes, because hats were the fashion at the time. Like today's fashion is ripped jeans or Converse shoes. Actually, I don't know what the fashion of today is. Geez, I'm getting old. Or making videos about conspiracies and talking a whole load of bullshit.
It's weird. The flame almost looks like an open hand, like a palm facing the sky. That doesn't look right.
Just because it doesn't look right doesn't mean it isn't real. Okay, that's enough for this video. Hans waffles on a lot more, showing more photos that he calls a fake, while showing absolutely no evidence for any of his claims. So thank you very much for watching. If you did get this far, I really appreciate it. I really. If you did like the video, please consider clicking the thumbs up button. And if you really liked it and it's your first time here, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking this icon here. Thank you once again. I will see you on the next video, which should be about a strange little man from Wales. I'll see you then. Good day.